dropped jaws by dropping 24 and a sick array of dunks and threes. Kobe Bryant dropped hearts by hanging 31 in the East. Now, true here in Philly, they once even booed Santa Claus. But in this setting, booing a hometown guy, it was awkward, embarrassing for the league, and as Mark Schwartz reports, it genuinely hurt Kobe Bryant's feelings.
They booed St. Nick. They booed Mike Schmidt. They even booed Destiny's Child. On Sunday, they spewed venom upon a native son, Philly's own Kobe Bryant, booed unmercifully whenever he scored, and eventually every time he touched the ball. Afterwards, Bryant was visibly shaken.
I was pretty upset, pretty hurt. I just wanted to go out there and just play hard. But they booed, and I still like coming home though. I still enjoy playing in Philly, nonetheless.
I felt bad for him. You know, this is his hometown. I thought he played well. I don't know why they don't like him in his own city.
I mean, I played in Philly for 6 years, and they boo us in the first quarter if things are not going right, you know?
My rookie year, I came out of high school. My first game here, they booed me a little bit too. So, and that really, really hurt.
You know, I think it was wrong, and I feel bad for him because, I mean, all he's trying to do is what's right.
While some said the boos were malicious, Bryant's all-star coach called the catcalls a compliment.
Well, first of all, let me say, don't take it personal. They wish they had you. And forget about it. Who cares if they booed you?
I told him to enjoy the boos because that's simply respect. I mean, I would love that, to have a whole city boo me, because that's respect. The boo is like a pat on the back when you're in somebody else's home.
The boos don't stop him from playing. You know, I'm pretty sure the boos wouldn't stop me from playing. It gives probably more energy.
No, I'll use it as motivation, definitely.
Bryant confessed he was a little bit worried about the fans' reaction coming into the game. But once again, he finishes on top in his hometown, this time passing Michael Jordan and leaving Philadelphia with the highest scoring average in NBA All-Star Game history. From the city of brotherly love, I'm Mark Schwartz, ESPN.
Mark, thanks. Kobe's 23 points at the end of the first half, one shy of an all-star record for a half. Dr. Jack Ramsey hanging with us again. The West 33-point attempts is a new all-star record. Is that why they won this thing?
Well, they made 43% of those, Stuart, so that's a factor. But the biggest factor was their offensive rebound. They got 27 offensive boards. Coaches in the NBA like to keep offensive rebounds 15 or fewer. 27. If you're not turning the ball over a lot, and the West didn't do that, and you're shooting a good percentage from the field, there's no way you're going to lose the game.
From the West All-Stars to two of the best in the West, Kobe and Shaq on ESPN Radio, they say that they're getting their game where it needs to be. That's scary for the rest of the West, isn't it?
Well, Shaq in particular was very positive. He said, sore toe or not, we're going to get our game together and get our game back the way it was last year. That's scary.
Hey, what else is scary? Kobe Bryant, 31 in an All-Star game, most in an All-Star game since Michael Jordan went for 40 back in 1988. For Dr. Jack Ramsey, I'm Stuart Scott. Let's kick it back to the studio.
This All-Star Report is brought to you by GMC. Are you a professional-grade basketball fan?
Last year during the NBA Finals. In fact, a lot of folks in Philly have been down on Bryant since high school. And don't forget, the Sixers had a chance to draft him in '96. They took Allen Iverson instead. Right answer or wrong, Bryant's grown up to be a champion on the court and off. Roy Firestone has the Sunday conversation with the MVP of the All-Star game, Kobe Bryant.
We're still starting.
Greatness is greedy.
The legacy that the Lakers have.
The Lakers are the world champions.
Forces us to remain hungry. I don't know what I'm capable of being.
Mesmerizing play once again by Kobe Bryant.
There's a perception, though, that the Lakers are looking to just shift gears. Is that a fair perception, or even among the players, that maybe, hey, when push comes to shove, we'll get it up into a different gear? Or is that a dangerous game to play?
It's a dangerous game to play if we were playing it. The teams that have beat us, they've beat us. It's a process of constantly moving forward and constantly improving. And that's what we're doing right now. You know, sometimes you have to take a couple steps back and just take one step forward. And that's the process that we've been going through, and we've been patient with one another.
Really, one of the great stories of this year is your relationship with Shaq. Talk about what happened and how it happened that you guys completely, I don't know if it was ever as bad as people made it out to be, but certainly there's been a big change.
Oh, yeah. You know, we never disliked one another. I think that's a huge misconception. I think We had our moments where it was hard to play with one another, but we never disliked one another. And yeah, well, now we're very good friends, actually. We enjoy playing together.
On February 12th, you're going to have the showdown at the Staples with Mr. Jordan. And I wondered if that was on your calendar circle, because people always talk about how much you pattern your game after him.
I like to clear that up right now. That's a big misconception, that I pattern my game after Michael's. Growing up, I studied Michael as I studied Magic, as I studied Larry. And being 6'6", some of the moves that he uses on the court, well, obviously benefit me a great deal. You know, I've always enjoyed watching Michael play, and more so now than ever, because he's really playing a cerebral game.
Early on in your career, you're a younger man coming into the pros. Did you have a need to show everybody that you belong?
Another air ball!
Yes, definitely. I mean, it was, when I first came into the league, I was more trying to prove myself as an individual basketball player, and not really thinking about my teammates or trying to lead them, because that wasn't my role at the time. And last year I felt like it was really my job to make sure the team was moving in the right direction and to really become more of a vocal leader. And that was one of my weaknesses, and I was able to work on it. My teammates were being patient with me, and I think I improved a great deal. And I'm still improving today.
I look at this incredible career you've had, and you're still just, what, 23?
Mm-hmm.
Do you appreciate it at this young an age, or do you have to be a little bit older to step back and say, wow, what an unbelievable ride this has been. What an extraordinary opportunity and blessing I've had in my life.
That's something that I do now, yes. It's something that I've been able to do at the end of last season, kind of step back and just enjoy the moment. And more so after September 11th. Not just the game of basketball, but just little things, going to the store and, or going to the movies, something like that. I've been able to kind of just sit back and just enjoy life and just enjoy the day at a time.